Okay, thank you. I am Sibelle Silva. I'm the Director for Innovation at the Ministry of Agriculture in Brazil. It's a pleasure talking to you today. I hope we here in Brazil have more opportunities like this because I believe that we have to learn with each other's experience, and I'm glad to show you a little bit about our work here in Brazil. I'm present to you the big picture for the strategic vision for innovation in agriculture that we are building here inside the Ministry of Agriculture in Brazil. And at the end, I will show you about the digital technologies and the challenge we have about the internet connection in rural areas. First of all, we have in mind the well-known future scenarios for agriculture. Globally, as we know, a 70% increase in food supply has been estimated. One need is to meet the requirement of a population of around 9 billion people by 2050. And more, as a consequence, agricultural producers are forced to increase productivity. Moreover, we have the big challenge of the climate change, which limits the production. And more, we need not only more food itself, we need more nutritive food, besides more water, electricity, internet connection, and so on. And it's essential to consider the sustainable use of all of the resources. We need to remember that the modern farmers are not only agricultural producers, they are also quality food suppliers and even ecosystems managers. Having connectivity, having digital agriculture will help them to go further in this challenge. And here, the big scenario. And now I will show you our strategic horizon to match with this scenario need. Now, I will go deeper into the foundation of our work. These four are our strategic pillars: sustainability, food security, food safety, and this one was really demanding in these COVID times, and at last, the society. Let's consider the priorities in each of these pillars. For sustainability, the main areas are related to advances in innovation for agribusiness. And those advances are related to decarbonization, to greenhouse gas mitigation, and the sustainable exploitation of the resources. In the food security pillar, we focus on the advances in productivity, the efficiency, the effectiveness, and the lack of food supply, besides the nutritional shortcome. We include strategies to overcome the hunger and malnutritional challenge, and this encompasses the reduction of losses and waste. In food safety, the third, we consider the need of tech progress, including traceability to attend the consumer's demand of information, which is related to the certification issues. And we have additional focus on the value capture, which means convincing and proving to the consumer about the sustainability in the food chain of the end products they buy. Digital agriculture and platforms are essential for that, and we are working on this. And at last, the society pillar. We aim to promote the sensibilization to the society about how much they can benefit the planet by preferring the consumption of sustainable products made from, for example, our national biodiversity. And then, based on these four subjects, we have a strategy. We set inside this strategy 5 priorities. They are our focus of work to continue developing innovation in agriculture in Brazil. The first is, again, sustainability itself. addressing public policies for weather, promoting an environment for the development of new brands, trademarks that better communicates our already existing sustainability practices. And we want to associate those policies with technology Brazilian institutions have been developing to monitor water, soil, climate, and so on. The second priority is bioeconomy. This includes the innovative actions taken to produce food, feed, bio-based materials, and bioenergy. We aim to optimize and develop agricultural products from renewable biological resources. The innovative and sustainable technologies we aim includes the most recent findings from chemical and biotechnological areas like the genome editing, like the bioinputs, the bio-based agriculture. And we strongly believe that the bio-based agriculture, together with the next priority, the digital, are the future for the agribusiness. And this is the third, the digital priority. In this priority here, we want to improve connectivity, internet connections in the farms, in the village, in the towns that are where we have agricultural producers. What is one of the main challenges we have here? About 70% of the agricultural areas in Brazil faces troubles with connectivity, and we need to solve this. We have initiatives for virtual learning. We promote blockchain in agribusiness for using traceability technology. We are fostering precision agriculture and similar technology, but we need internet connection to make all of this work in the better way. And the fourth, the open innovation. We foster the startups that are dedicated to agribusiness here in Brazil. We are developing a strategy to have more innovation ecosystems dedicated to agribusiness. Bioinputs, like as I mentioned, the bio-based agriculture, are subjects that need to be addressed in open innovation framework, side by side with the AgTechs, the startups that works in the agribusiness area. We need to have more and more partnerships within Brazil and outside, and it's essential to grow open innovation initiatives in our agribusiness. And the last priority we call food tech. Food tech for us is the food for the future. It encompasses actions to research and development for new ingredients, plant-based proteins, cell-based, the synthetic proteins too, precision fermentation, vertical farms, packing technologies, and much more. Thus, these five are our main guidelines. These are our priorities. And from these priorities, we develop many specific actions in the field of innovation in agribusiness. And now I will show you some examples considering those five priorities I am presenting to you. About sustainability and bioeconomy, we know consumers are in even greater numbers choosing to buy sustainability, and we need to give them information using the digital tools. We are at a turning point. We can choose a future where the goods and services we need are produced in ways that regenerate and preserve the nature. We know that the agriculture is evolving. We passed through a green revolution, and we are at the beginning of a new wave with the digital agriculture that is also focused on the bio-based agriculture, on the complexity of the microbiological systems. And in this new reality, agriculture is even more multidisciplinary, and we need more innovation and complex research, including the help of the digital technologies to measure and to promote such sustainability. And digital technologies. Together with the subject of bioeconomy, we have here a really powerful tool. We are following in agriculture in Brazil what the Japanese are calling Society 5.0. We want to develop an agriculture 5.0 here. We have crops. We want to develop more and more platforms. We have a huge collection of data in the farms, many sensors, and we want to have more and more technology to process this data that will be placed in decision-making process. And then we can have more efficiency and even more innovation. The digital technologies would also help to better explore and know our big and well-preserved biodiversity. And Brazil, as you know, has about 20% of the globe biodiversity. We need to maintain it while we use it to develop new solutions to many areas, including its own maintenance. And the digital tool, the digital agriculture, will be essential for that. And to get together the digital technology, bioeconomy, sustainability, we use the open innovation concept. I believe you know Embrapa, which is the Brazilian Research Agricultural Corporation. Embrapa is the public research company linked to our Ministry of Agriculture, and through Embrapa, we promote many open innovation initiatives to connect all of those subjects to the market. One of the initiatives we call Innovation Gap Filling Challenge, or Bridge to Innovation Challenge for agribusiness. We put startups that want to work with Embrapa technology or with Brazilian agricultural technology in contact with potential investors, not only from Brazil, but even outside Brazil. Further, we have specific challenges focused on specific chains. Some of them are hackathons. Some are competitions among startups to achieve new investments and to make different partnerships. We have, just for instance, ideas for milk as one of them, and we have similar challenges for fish chain, chicken, pork, coffee, and many others. Many of those startups are based on digital technologies. Then we see here a clear example that digital technologies are helping to evolve our agribusiness in Brazil. And to give you an idea about how big the agribusiness startups landscape in Brazil is, I will present to you some results of a study we just launched last month. This study encompasses a precise diagnosis of our age tax, the name we give for our startups that are dedicated to agribusiness. The study shows Brazil already has more than 1,500 startups dedicated to agribusiness. The main contribution they make is to allow Brazilian agriculture to have one of the most favorable innovation ecosystems for agribusiness on the globe. The study shows that in Brazil, even during the pandemic, we have created one new startup for agribusiness every day. And the Ministry of Agriculture constantly helps this ecosystem on many aspects, such as spreading connectivity, the internet connection, gathering efforts, promoting new partnerships, setting dog policies, and consequently promoting more and more innovation. The Brazilian startups in agribusiness are in three categories. We have before the farms, inside the farms, and after the farms. About 13 were classified as before the farms, as we can see here at the slide. They work with inputs, laboratory analysis, biological control, fertilizers, plant nutrition, genomics, biotechnology, seeds, financial services to the producers, just to give you some examples. And 42% of those age techs are inside the farms. And here are the most age techs that works with digital agriculture. They work with precision agriculture, content, education, waste management, IoT, the Internet of the Things, irrigation, monitoring the fields with sensors, remote sensing, management systems, automation, and even drones. There is a big group of startups working with this monitoring field issue using agriculture, digital agriculture. And at last, the bigger group, the 45% of the startups are after the farms. This big group delivers solutions in food, warehousing, logistics, bioenergy, consultancy, retail management, online shopping, marketplaces, online restaurants, traceability, and even packing. Here, we also have digital agriculture technologies working inside all of the technology these startups develop. And the main group of startups, the After the Farms group I mentioned, are working with food tech, the food for the future. They are dedicated to innovative foods and new food trends, and they use many mobile applications to monitor, to deliver solutions, and to know more about the consumers. And hand in hand with the innovation that these startups promote, we have a specific challenge in the farms in Brazil, as I mentioned to you, namely the internet access. As I said, more than 70% of the rural areas do not have access to internet in Brazil. Hence, we have much technology and innovation that cannot be fully used because of the lack of internet connections. However, here at the ministry, we have encouraging initiatives to overcome this scenario. We, in partnership with universities in Brazil, did a study to know the scenarios and to point out some solutions for the internet connection issue, as I show you. And we have two main groups of actions in course. The first is an initiative related to amplify the number of mobile phone towers focused on 4G connections. In this one, we have two scenarios, A and B. I will show you at the slides. And here, the red areas are the ones where we have no internet signal at the rural areas. Going to green, we have good internet available, as you can see in the slide. And this initiative aims to provide internet in towns and small villages where we have many agricultural producers. We have about 4,400 mobile phone towers in Brazil. And in this scenario A, if we could add new antennas in each of these towers, we could double the internet access in rural areas. We could achieve about 50% of internet access by doing this. And this would improve a lot our innovation in the rural areas. But we have scenario B. And if we look further in this B scenario and build, besides to add the new antennas, if we build about 15,000 new mobile phone towers, we could achieve 90% of internet access. We have this plan here. These two alternatives for 4G from the study I mentioned to you. We are working on resources and partnerships to make these scenarios Brazil's reality. And the second initiative is complementary to this one. Here we have the 4G connections, and we can see here how we could improve the areas illuminated, the areas we will have connectivity to the farmers. But we have another strategy. The second initiative is to provide satellite internet connections. And we know here in Brazil that there are towns and villages that need just the basic internet to be in touch with the cities, to be in touch with the agricultural needs they have. And we are already installing satellite connection points in partnership with the Ministry of Communication. We aim to install 156 points all over the country, mainly in the north and northeast of Brazil. 51 are already installed. And besides this initiative about the satellite connection, the 4D connection, we here at the ministry in Brazil, we are leading a group we call Chamber or Agribusiness 4.0. And we have many ministries, private companies, public companies, and funding agencies inside this chamber for what we call Agribusiness 4.0. And this group is setting priorities, including the two initiatives I mentioned, and many others, like the 5G connections, the digital agriculture in a broad overview. And this infrastructure, the connectivity, this initiative of the Chamber will allow the agriculture sector in Brazil to enter in a new era of the artificial intelligence, machine learning, data mining, enlarged reality, cloud computing, big data, IoT, and so on. And the target here is to stimulate research and innovation, as well as disseminate knowledge to the producers. It's not about only the connectivity only, it's about to give them information to use all the possibilities of the digital agriculture and to give to them more learning opportunities. And we are committed to bringing more quality of life to our producers by using internet to reduce the distance between them and the cities and consumers. We want to deliver technology to encourage young people to remain in rural areas, thus maintaining our agriculture innovative and sustainable. And with this speech, I hope this is useful for you to know a little bit more about our reality, about our challenge, and even about our potential to continue growing in Brazil agriculture, to continue supplying food for all the globe. And I hope this is useful for you. And I'm here at your disposal to solve doubts, to answer questions after the event. Thank you for your attention, and feel free to contact me if necessary. Thank you.